Hey guys, what's up? Emo Cat Dad here, hanging out with you, bringing you yet another edition of Emo Cat Dad Listens. If you're new here, what I do is every day of 2024, I have challenged myself to check out a new band or artist. You guys have been so great giving me suggestions, so I've got a good list going. Please continue giving me those suggestions. Like I've mentioned before, I don't actually have a physical list, it's just kind of all in my noggin. So if I haven't gotten to something you've suggested, just suggest it again. Honestly, it's probably just that I've forgotten. And honestly, the more you suggest something, the more likely I am to get to it quicker, because the more I hear about it, it kind of moves up to the top of my, oh, right, I still got to do that. So, today's artist is I Set My Friends on Fire. I'm going to check out 4 songs from across their discography, give you my thoughts on those songs, rank the songs, and then, of course, give you my overall thoughts on the artist before saying goodbye. So what do I know about I Set My Friends on Fire? Not a whole lot. This was another one that someone had suggested to me to check out, saying that they're, weird and genre bending. I do remember the first album, specifically the cover. I had tried to get into Risecore music before that, because that was the new scene thing to do, and I just couldn't do it. So I kind of, whether fairly or not, I guess we'll find out, lump them into that kind of scene. So I guess that's kind of what I'm expecting. I'm expecting this to sound like Drop Dead Gorgeous or early The Devil Wears Prada, which I guess is the only Devil Wears Prada I really know. Let me know if I should do a video on them in the comments. But without any further ado, let's dive into I Set My Friends on Fire. Okay, so this was their big song, Things That Rhyme with Orange, off their debut album, You Can't Spell Slaughter Without Laughter. Okay, so this is way different than what I expected. There's way more clean vocals in here. The unclean vocals were very Risecore. That's probably where I made that connection. I probably heard a screaming part, was like, nope, don't like these vocals, which, I mean, I still don't love. I'm more on board with it now. But there's still a lot of elements here I do like. I already mentioned the unclean vocals. The gang vocals, which I've said multiple times on these videos, like, bring me a good gang vocal and I'm in. This was also the area of electronic core, so there's lots of electronics, and honestly, it's fused together really well here. I didn't like a lot of electronic core bands. Breathe Carolina is probably the one I enjoyed the most, and I would say that's probably a pretty apt comparison to this, although the uncleans are slightly more accessible in Breathe Carolina, if that makes any sense. And honestly, when you're listening to a band called I Set My Friends on Fire, and you're listening to the song Things That Rhyme with Orange off the album You Can't Spell Slaughter Without Laughter, I expected the lyrics to be more joking, and they weren't really on here. I was surprised. Alright, next up we're going to check out It Comes Naturally off their second album, Astral Rejection. Okay, so the beginning of the song is basically what I expected I Set My Friends on Fire to always sound like. It was very weird, unclean vocals that I don't dig. But after that first little bit, it kind of goes back into the style of Things That Rhyme with Orange, where it's good, clean vocals, lots of cool electronics mixed in with the guitars. But I will say, where this differentiates is the lyrics stayed weird. Alright, it appears the band basically went away after this album until 2020, when they released an EP called Online Now, which featured an acoustic version of Things That Rhyme with Orange. But I didn't really want to check out the same song again, so the song with the next most streams is Body Bag, so let's listen to that. I can't resist, yeah. Blood on my wrist, yeah. Hands around my neck, yeah. Okay, so this is a Lil Lotus cover. I know that because I did a video like this on Lil Lotus a little while ago. Body Bag was my least favorite Lil Lotus song, but that's mostly because it stayed an emo rap song and didn't do anything fun that, I like. And I will say, this is basically a straightforward cover. There's a little bit of unclean screams in the background to differentiate it a little bit, but otherwise it's got the emo rap flow and, just sounds like someone doing their best Lil Lotus impersonation, although the vocals don't really sound like that, so I guess I shouldn't say impersonation. Just, straightforward cover, like I said. And of course, now that I'm paying attention to this EP, I see that acoustic version of Things That Rhyme with Orange features Lil Lotus, so I guess the band and him were just doing some stuff together at this point in 2020. Alright, so since that EP, the band has released a bunch of singles. The singles most recently seem to be features with other artists. The only one that kind of jumped out at me that I heard was Buried Alive. Buried, like berries. I've never listened to them either, so if I should check them out, comments, let me know. Maybe I'll do it. But I didn't really want to do just a song where I Set My Friends on Fire is featured, so I went to their most recent single that is just them, and it's called Existence Is... ... You're on your own. Okay, so weird title aside, this starts off as a emo rap song. It's got the trap beats, it's got the emo rap flows, similar to what we just heard on Body Bag, but that was an emo rap, or at least as far as I know, this isn't an emo rap cover, so I don't really understand. We then eventually get the Unclean style vocals as the breaking point between the emo rap flow, and I still do not love their style of it. Again, nothing against them, that's the style they're going for. I just don't like that style, unfortunately. Personal preferences aside, it's pretty talented that he could do all these different screams that, you know, I don't like to hear. And the outro was the unclean vocals with a lot of repetition, so that's 2 strikes against the song, I guess. Luckily, nothing else happened, and again, I do really like the emo rap flow and the trap beats that they got going on in the background. It was just surprising to see that from them. Alright, so those are the 4 tracks we checked out. Let's rank them. Number 1, Things That Rhyme with Orange. Should be no surprise, had a lot of fun with this track, and, you know, probably cliched to say their most popular song is the best, but the people know what's good. Number 2, It Comes Naturally. Again, it was a little weird at the beginning, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what I expected. The other one was an outlier. Wasn't the case. It got back to what I dug about the first track, and really enjoyed this one as well. Track 3 was Body Bag. Body Bag also ranks at number 3, because, you know, I really enjoyed that song when it was Lil Lotus. I'm pretty sure I put it last on Lil Lotus's list, but I made a point to say I really dug all the songs, and I'm excited to check them out. And, you know, I wouldn't say I Set My Friends on Fire made it that much better, but I enjoyed the adding of the screams in the background. It worked for me. And finally, at 4 is Existence Is... You're on Your Own. This was the only track that I really had big sections of the song that I wasn't a fan of. Alright, so overall my thoughts on I Set My Friends on Fire is the early stuff is really good. I was wrong to overlook this in, you know, 2008, 9, 10, 11. When those first 2 albums came out. You guys let me know if there's more songs in their discography, especially recent songs that sound more like those 2 original songs. I'm definitely be interested in checking them out. I wonder if I Set My Friends on Fire are becoming an emo rap screaming band, which if they are, that's cool. If I dug the screams more, I could get on board, but maybe I'm way off and they're still releasing songs that sound like Things That Rhyme with Orange, which that's a weird sentence to say, but you guys get the gist of it. And let me know about those features that they did. Are any of them worth my time? Be a part of the conversation. Let me know in the comments below. Give me your thoughts on I Set My Friends on Fire. Did you listen to them? Did you not like them? Did you super like them? I want to hear your thoughts. And make sure to dive back into the back catalog of these. I had my first 1,000 view video, so thank you so much. We're climbing the ladder in subscribers, so please, please, please help me with that. And the best way to do that is to simply cut my wrists and hit subscribe. Till next time, I'm your friendly neighborhood Emo Cat Dad signing off. But until you see me tomorrow, I want to hear you sad.